Today on Blueprint, we're transforming Jooviers Gems' so-called boring trading setup into a smart, sleek, confidence-boosting indicator, or die trying. All that and more. Well, not more. All that on today's Blueprint. Welcome to Blueprint. I'm Tom Hartman, your friendly neighborhood strategy coder, joined as always by Peter Hartman, repping the TradersPost marketing crew. And yes, we're back doing what we do best, turning solid goal setups into automated strategies using PineScript and, of course, TradersPost, the best automated trading platform in this or any other dimension. You like how I added the dimension there, Peter?
Yeah, how many dimensions are there?
Oh, there's so many, but all of them, TradersPost is the best. As always, a quick reminder, everything we build here is for educational and entertainment purposes only. We're here to showcase what's possible with automation and AI and all that, and we don't promise profits or predict your portfolio's future. And in fact, we guarantee if you use any of these techniques, you will fail, like Icarus. That said, let's dive in and give this boring setup the glow up it deserves.
Is this the
Peter.
boring company, the Tesla thing?
No. It's just we'll see the YouTube video, but the guy describes this strategy as very boring, but reliable and consistent. I've actually heard several YouTubers in the influencer space for trading describe what they're doing as boring because it feels like I assume I don't know what's boring about making money. I guess they're not doing like YOLO trades or GameStop or zero DTE options or whatever, and it's just a boring trading setup. But to me, it's like how fishermen describe fishing. Like fishing's boring. Like all fishing's boring, no matter how you do the fishing. I talk to people who don't trade, and zero DTE trading to them sounds like just as boring as any other trading. Like, what are you talking about? I care about your theta that's decaying between 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. It doesn't make any difference to them. But to a fisherman, the lure might be exciting, you know? So all trading strategies are really boring when it comes down to it. But this YouTuber describes this particularly as a boring strategy, which is fun. That's why I picked it. You can describe something as boring. What, you trying to hide the gold from me? You trying to hide gems from me? I'm going to find it. I'm going to suss it out. Plus, you and I are very boring individuals. We spend our time behind screens, looking for opportunities, edges. We'll call each other over.
Did you just call me boring?
Yeah, we're very boring. Both of us are very boring.
I live a very exciting life. I go to tons of different websites, and I look at a lot on X. Very varied.
You barely talk to me, and I'm your twin brother. Okay, we barely talk. I'll find out things about you, like, oh, that happened? Huh. Interesting. All right, so let's go ahead. Actually, this one's going to be a little bit different than the ones we've been doing lately. I've been basically feeding YouTube videos, transcripts into AI, and let it spit out a bunch of PineScript. But this one's not like that. The setup is not as clear, and there's a discretionary component to it. So we're going to step back into the idea of coding the or semi-manual coding of this indicator. It's not going to be a strategy. It's going to be an indicator that you toss onto the chart in order to draw the setup. And as you put the setup with the indicator, the goal is to make it so that it then takes the trade when it needs to, that the trade taken happens automatically, as well as a take profit and stop loss. All that will be handled by TradersPost. So the signal will be generated from TradingView. We'll send the signal over to TradersPost, and then I'll execute it. But the part where you're looking for the setup, the buy and sell signal, that you're gonna have to do manually. So it's that sort of like half manual, half automation, which I think is pretty interesting, pretty cool. Which makes sense because there's a lot more. I was under the impression that when you're inside of the automated trading world, that you're not really, that even the buy and sell signals are automatically generated. But as I've been seeing, as I've been doing this for years, I've noticed that there's all kinds of very legitimate trading setups that you can't automate. because there's nuances to how the chart moves that you can pick up, but to describe those as a set of rules to follow would take too many rules to follow, right? So like I might be like, oh, in 2 days, I know the Jerome Powell's going to be speaking, and we haven't had a rate cut in the last 6 months. And then there's a thing happening in the Middle East, and so there might be more skittishness amongst users. And I'm seeing online on Twitter how people are talking, and so I'm going to be a little bit more careful about entering my trade because I'm going to expect more of a dip before I go in. Well, how do you systematize that? Can't. Well, not for regular traders anyway. So this discretionary. There's some setups where this discretionary element where you're the guy choosing the perfect setup and then letting the automated process take place makes a lot of sense. Sounds fun, Peter? You're in the dark. Actually, you look pretty cool there in the dark. There
my light just clipped out. By the way, the audio is cutting out. I don't know if there's something going on here with me. Can you just check your system to make sure that your CPU and everything is good? Because it's glitching out for a second.
Yeah, I'm good. Let me check again.
Why did my light turn off?
Problem. Anytime something like that happens, I always check outside to see if the rapture is happening.
The rapture.
Yeah, I want to know. I check to see, are the piles of clothes of people on the ground? Are the planes falling out of the sky? Left Behind style. Or, yeah, Left Behind. You saw the TV show, Left Behind?
TV show, the movie.
Not Left Behind. The Leftovers.
No, too depressing. You said it was depressing. I'm not going to watch it.
All right. Let's get to the script.
All right. I do want to get to the script. I'm just concerned about the audio glitching. So is something you want to do, or
my CPU is fine. Let me see. I'm not seeing any glitching on my side. So I guess I'll leave it up to you. Let's see what the stream looks like.
Stream looks fine. It's not the video that's a problem, really. It's just all right. So okay, so we're going to be watching this video. Is that it?
Yeah, let's step through it. It is 20-minute video. We're not going to go through every minute of it, obviously, but we are going to take a look at what he has to say. We're going to try to internalize what's the structure he's looking for, and then we're going to like plan out how we want to structure this indicator.
All right. How'd you come across this video?
So what I find is that if I go to like a youtube.com and then I type in keywords that I'm looking for, oftentimes videos will show up that match those keywords. Then I'll watch those videos and then get an idea of what.
I can't believe I was listening to you.
I don't know how you do it, but that's like the way that I do it. I find that's like
absolutely terrible.
Very, very useful.
You're so stupid. I hate you.
All right, let's go here.
All right.
All right, so first of all, this strategy is a break and retest strategy. If you don't know what that means, I'm going to break it down very simply for you and very quickly. So we all know that price never just goes straight up or never goes straight down. Price goes up, down, up, down, right? Same thing vice versa.
Write that down, Peter.
Down, up,
down,
down, up,
down, up, down, up. Now, when we have these higher highs and higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, we actually create what's called resistance zones on the top and support zones on the bottom. And those usually act as areas where price might reject off. So what I mean by that is, let's say price comes down and goes up. This area would be considered a support zone. So next time price comes down to that area, most of the time price is going to go back up. Now, same thing vice versa with a resistance zone. Remember, support is always on the bottom, resistance is on the top. So same thing, we have price go up, price came down. When price goes up into that same area, most of the time is going to go down. Now, what happens if it doesn't go down and continues to go up? Most of the time, a previous resistance zone would then turn into a support zone because price would go above.
This is all classic.
Down below to retest that.
As chess players would say, this is all theory.
Previous resistance zone, and it actually will treat that previous resistance zone as a support zone and actually go back up. Same thing with sells. So let's say price came down, sold below what we had as a support zone, and then it will come back up to retest what's considered our previous support zone, and it'll actually treat that as if it's a resistance zone and sell off of it. And that's what this strategy is. It is optimizing and going with the direction of the market by waiting for these.
All right, got that. Let's get through. Let's get through.
The first
these
thing,
are the steps that he's following.
but it works, and it works very, very well.
All right, we don't have to read all. We don't have to wait for it to go through all that. Let's go through it together. So he's going to identify zones on the 1 hour and the 4 hour. Oh, wait a second. I just got a message. Unbelievable. I just saved 15% or more by switching my car insurance to Geico.
You're so stupid.
Okay, let's go back to the video. Let's go back to the video. We identify zones on the 1 hour and 4 hour chart. We're going to find the most recent support and resistance areas. We're going to draw our zones. All right. Then we're going to confirm a breakout. So that's going to be like a higher high or a lower low. So we're going to have this trend and of like, let's say lower highs. And when the lower high is broken, we're going to assume that we have a breakout and the opposite for shorts. Then we're going to drop down after identifying the 1 hour or 4 hour area, the support or resistance zone. We're going to go down to the 1 minute chart, and we're going to be looking for either consolidation, higher high, lower low structure, or a trend line. And then we enter on the break of this pattern, and then have a specific stop loss or take profit. I don't think we're going to have time to go through all three of consolidation, higher high, lower low structure or trend line. We'll choose one and then we'll move forward with it. But that's pretty straightforward. So let's take a look at a couple of the examples that he has set up.
Are you going to be using AI, or are you coding this?
Yes, to some degree, yeah. But let's decide how we want to do this. Okay, so all right, so here he describes a trade setup.
My inner circle this morning.
And guys, I'm a very sarcastic, sardonic, ironic type of person. Please, I appreciate that people put out videos like this and have YouTube channels like this. Oftentimes, they have very good information about how to think about trading, risk management, setups to look for. Super, super useful to have someone that you're following that you can then measure yourself against. So, head over to Jooviers Gems, take a look at the video for yourself. That's one of the reasons I skipped through it. I want you to go check it out on your own. Not trying to be a replacement for the channel. So thanks very much, Jooviers, for doing this. So let's hear him describe his setup.
So as you can see, price was selling down right here. And then we got to this area right here, and price started having uncertainty. Uncertainty in this example looks like consolidation. We see price just going up, down, right? That's uncertainty. So we then had price break and close.
Okay, so that's like the kind of thing I'm telling you about, Peter, before. He's like making a qualitative assessment of what's going on with the candles. But if you had to like plan out, okay, uncertainty looks like when there's a series of wicks in a row that have this sort of ratio to their body or whatever, you might have a bunch of false positives or miss or skip out on positives. Whereas if you're looking at the chart, you can tell this uncertainty based on how the chart felt, how it moved up until that point.
Above this area, the 1 hour time frame, where price break and close above the zone that we drew. This is our uncertainty zone right here. We drew it simply by going from the top of the wick to the body of the highest candlestick in this uncertainty zone. So once we did that, then we just waited for price to come and close above this box here. As you see, this candlestick closed above it. Now, once we had that closure above here on the 1 hour time frame, because remember, we drew the zone on the 1 hour time frame. Once we had the close above there on that same time frame that we drew our zone on, which is the 1 hour time frame, we went down to the 1 minute time frame. And as you see, as price came and closed on top of here, so this is when the hourly candlestick actually closed. This is where it closed right here at 8 o'clock. If you look on the bottom, you see 8 o'clock. This is when it closed. Then
you understand what's going on here? He was on the 1 hour chart. He drew this the zone, and then now he jumped down to 1 minute time frame. But because he drew the box on the 1 hour time frame, now we're seeing it stretched out across on the chart. So we're going to be doing something like that. We're going to create an indicator that you place this box on the screen, and then you'll be able to zoom into lower levels in order to see the setup.
we saw price come back down into this zone. I don't care about any of this price action that happened before, because this is all before that 1 hour candlestick closed outside of that zone. I'm only looking at what happened after we had that candlestick close above this zone. So we had price come tap back into this area. And if we plot it out right here, we had price sell down, price came up, price sell down, price came up, price sell down, then price came up. And as you see, we created a high point right here. These two zones, two areas, even if it wasn't two areas, we created a new high right here. So now all I would look for an entry is a break of that recent high. As we went over inside the checklist, we're looking for price to tap back into our zone and then create a high or a low. And then we're waiting for price to break above that high or that low, depending if we're looking for sells or buys. In this instance, we're looking for a break above a recent high because we want to see that price is going up. So once we saw that price created this high right here, and then as we fast forward, we see price created another high right here, which shows us that price went away from our area. We then put an entry point for right up here so that as soon as price broke above this recent high, as we just talked about, it would enter us into the trade. And if we fast forward here a little bit, we see price start to go up. Price would have tapped us into the trade right here. Stop loss goes below.
Oops, sorry about that.
Stop loss goes below. What a cliffhanger. I like it. I was really focused there. It's really good.
All right, let me just pull that back up.
Why don't you go ahead and pull
I
that
should
back up?
clean up my tabs, and then all of a sudden
It happens. It happens.
Here we go.
Happens to the
Let's
best
do
of
it.
us, and it happens to the worst of us. So
Price would have tapped us into the trade right here. Stop loss goes below the most recent swing low before you entered your trade, which in this instance is right here. Once it tapped into the most recent swing low, we would have targeted a recent swing high. Now, recent swing high on the hourly is right up here. As you see, it's that blue line. So that's what we ended up targeting. And as you see, price actually ended up hitting this very, very fast. This actually, it usually doesn't happen this fast, but this happened within a matter of, what is this, like 7 minutes or something? It was actually crazy. But yeah, and as you see right here, there's a 6.5 to 1 versus 2.
Okay, so that's fun. That's fun, Peter. So let's go ahead and see what we can do. So first, we will do some feeding of the AI. Let's see what it comes up with. But this time, instead of just providing it with the transcript, I'm also going to give the AI some screenshots. One of the rules that he had set up, and two of the specific setup that he was looking at. So let's take a look. It's going to be a little interesting here because what we're going to be doing is that we're going to create an indicator that when you click on the chart, it'll determine how to draw the area, the box area automatically. That's what we want to do. Do we want to do that, or do I want people to draw it manually? High and then low. What should we do here?
whatever's
Okay,
fast.
Manually. We'll do it manually. Yes, we'll do it manually. I think that will be the coolest. And then we set it up that way, and then it'll draw the breakout areas and then the stop loss and take profit automatically. Let's see if we can do that.
Cool? Coolest? Are you using that word? I don't think you know what that word means. Cool?
Well, it's like this lure that what happens is that it simulates a stuck fish, and then as you drag it through the water. All right, so we don't need to hear the video anymore. Let's stop that. Let me just share my screen.
Make sure you don't close all your tabs by accident again.
I'll close your tab.
It's just cringe. It's very cringe.
So I'm going to grab, okay, let's go here. Let's go grab our transcript. Do we have a transcript for this video? Let's see.
Is he offering an indicator?
I don't know. I try not to know that beforehand.
Okay.
I sort of feel bad if they do.
Why don't you give
I'm
him
just winging it here. So
give him what you're making. Maybe he'll like that. Maybe he'll like it.
if he contacts me, I'd be very happy to make some sort of arrangement.
Look, this guy has hundreds of thousands of subscribers. He's not going to contact you, lowly you.
Okay, that's
you're nothing. You are nothing.
Sure. All right, so let's go ahead here. I have my cursor set up. Let's go ahead and create a script here. We'll call you that's not what I wanted to do. Let's call you, let's create a new one. We'll call it boring setup. All right. Let's just go ahead and create a new.
Hang on. What you're doing right now, you're in Cursor, right?
I'm in Cursor.
So
that's right.
You want to let people know why you're in here as opposed to TradingView, PineScript editor.
Well, first, I encourage everyone, you got to start moving your brain into a vibe coding, AI-centric type of situation. Now, you could just code this type of PineScript manually by hand, totally. And that's what had to do it in the past. But we're here, we're the elite of the elite of the elite. Us traders who think about automated trading and who use TradersPost, we're the best of the best. And the best of the best uses the best of the best. And that is AI coding. Because as it gets better and better and outpaces what you could do manually, your skills will increase with it. Whereas you can get really good at writing PineScript right now, and then from a month from now, there's an AI that can do it. Well, what was the point of watching the video? So I want to show you how to use Cursor and how to do this, or any AI coding agent. And I like going through the pains of learning how to code what I want to code in TradingView with Cursor. Now, we set up our Cursor, as you've seen. Actually, I should mention this because on previous videos, this is what we've been doing. Basically, every new script that I create in my environment, in my folder for all my scripts, helps to inform the AI of how I like to code things. Mm-hmm. It could reference things and stuff like that. Plus, I have rules that I have set up for the AI to follow to help with understanding the documentation for PineScript 6, understanding some pitfalls to avoid, guidelines of how to develop PineScripts. And so I use the environment because if I do it manually within TradingView, I'd have to think about all that and do it all myself. So what we do here is that I can feed the AI the transcript of the YouTube video, screenshots of the setup and stuff like that, and see if it could figure out, it could put together, hey, this is generally how you would put this kind of indicator together. And then from there, we use that as the raw material in order to develop our script.
Sounds like a plan. You think we can get that done in the next 45 minutes, 40 minutes?
Well, we stopped jabbering, we might. Let's get to it, guys. So I use Claude Code now. I use Claude Code, which is a agentic editor, code editor, but that works within Terminal. And I load it up within the IDE of Cursor, because then I have the best of both worlds. I get the whole file management, I get terminal access, I get to speak to the Cursor models, all that sort of thing. And I also get the benefit of Claude Code, which means that I have no real limit to how many tokens I can abuse, how much the AI can use without having to go over my my spending limit. So here I'm going to tell it what I want.
Can you make the text just a little bit bigger?
Sure.
That's good. As we take a gander at the high-value trader in the wild, he's coding in Claude Code in Cursor. I'm sorry, I'm just doing a narration in a terrible, British accent? I don't think that's a British accent.
I can't remember what the function is for this. It'll be indicator input. 1 second. Peter doesn't like when I speak when I write, so I'm going to be silent.
It's not about you. It's about everyone just kind of talking to themselves as they're working. And just absolutely, look, there are not many things that I hate. There's like maybe 3-4 dozen things that I absolutely hate in the world. Not much. And this is on that list. And I've learned that one of the things I don't like is called misphonia. And that's the eating, hearing people eating. Look, okay? I don't want this whole stream to be about what Peter likes, doesn't like. Tom's not even paying attention to me. He's typing here.
I am.
No, I'm just teasing.
No,
I want
am
to
listening
create.
to you.
I want to create an indicator. Oh no, I can't read this while you're writing it. That's not going to work.
All right. So I'm saying here, I want to create an indicator in PineScript v6.
Challenge. Read this.
I want to create an indicator in PineScript v6 that helps me define the trade setup I'll be showing you. I want to make an indicator that, when I add it to the chart, uses the input.time function and the confirm attribute to force the user to choose the top left, so the high, of the box and the lower right of the box that defines the support zone. Almost got through it.
Almost got through it. It's always the last words that we mess up because we think about the next thing, but well done.
So I'm just saying that. I'm going to give it now. I'm going to paste in the transcript of the video. So I'm pasting the text, transcript of the video. And then I'm also going to give it a screenshot of the support zone that he initially drew. Let's go here and do that, just to give the AI an idea. Let's see if this works.
Have you tried the MCP that gives that it can see your screen?
Browser tools?
No, I think it's called Snap Happy or something like that. I haven't tried it yet.
No.
I shared it with you.
I'm going to give it the script that I want to create it in. And it's actually, I'm going to go to planning mode by doing Shift Tab just to see how it might plan this out. I just want to make sure I described it in a way that I could understand. So let's see here.
Man, last night.
API error. Why is there an API error? Whatever. Keep going.
Last night I had started a project. I wanted to zero shot it. So I gave it full PRD, full list of instructions, a fairly big, complicated project. I told it to ultra think for the planning and have each sub-agent ultra think. Bruh, thing ran for 45 minutes, an hour straight.
Really?
Yeah. I haven't tested out
How many tokens did you consume? I was getting nervous because you can only use 200,000 tokens in a given window. Normally, I don't get to 200,000 tokens. But occasionally, I forget of the entire history that I had and the code base that I'm asking it to consume, and it hits the 200,000 tokens like that. And it goes, look, we're going to have to start splitting the stuff into chunks here. This is not working. I go, oh, my God.
I think it was 20,000 tokens that it did. It was...
That's a while, yeah.
No, not 20,000. Sorry, it was 2,000, 3,000, I think it was 4,000 tokens. I couldn't believe it. It felt really good. Anyway, sorry, go ahead.
All right, so let's read what the plan is that Claude came up with. I'll create a PineScript v6 indicator that helps define the support resistance zones for the boring setup trading strategy. Here's what the indicator will do. 1, interactive zone definition. Use input.time with confirm true to allow users to click on the chart and select top left corner, high point of the support resistance zone, bottom right corner, low point of the support resistance zone. Visual elements, draw a box representing the support and resistance zone, color coding of the box. Optional, show when price breaks and closes outside the zone. Optional, alert when price retests the zone after breakout. Structure, use PineScript v6 for proper annotations. Follow the style guide from Claude.md. Include proper input groups and tooltips. Handle edge cases. Implementation steps. Number 1, create the basic indicator structure with version 6. Add time inputs with confirm attribute for interactive selection, and so on and so forth. I do that so that I don't end with a mistake, Pierre. I'm just going to say here for the planning, I'm going to say no. I want to do one extra thing. That's great so far.
I mean, one of these days, you're going to zero shot a complex PineScript indicator thing, and then you're going to have that moment live on stream like, oh, shoot. It's over. It's over for me.
All right, so I want to just start with the box drawn feature. Let's just see what that looks like. Because if it doesn't get that right, who cares about the rest of it? What's fun is that once the AI does understand what you're trying to do, once you've explained it to it, once you've treated it like an employee that you've hired who speaks a foreign language, and you go through the effort of like, okay, now we're on the same page. Ah, I see. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Then you can really lean forward and just like have it do the rest of it. But it's got to understand what you're trying to do, the basic structure of it, and how it'll prove that it's doing it, which is so fun with vibe coding. God, I love it so much. God, I love this. So right now it's crafting. It'll ask me, Claude Code will ask me permission to execute commands the first time it has to execute it, which is annoying. There is a way, Peter, to skip it all so that it just does everything and I'll never ask. But it's so powerful.
Live dangerously.
I just go, I don't know. All I have to do is press this enter as I read things. I'm just going to go ahead and do that. I'm so used to another system. I use Open Interpreter as well when I use AI on locally on my computer, or I did before Claude Code. And that one then never even pretended like
that it was
safe.
safe.
I'll delete everything on your computer if I think it's going to be a problem. And I didn't have any problem with that until like it deleted all the files in a particular folder. And if I didn't have Dropbox where it could like restore all the files, I would have been like, my marriage would have ended. Let's just go with that.
That's the thing. I'm waiting.
Why.
I'm waiting to properly clone and back up my computer before I do that, live dangerously. But also it's very useful to kind of learn. If you're not a coder like me, reading the output, following along helps you to understand what's going on so that you can troubleshoot later on. So I haven't done that YOLO thing yet, but I don't think I will.
Well, the way that people do it is that if you create an environment, a virtual environment,
Docker
or a container environment, then it could never do anything outside of it. But that feels very like Kitboga sort of situation that I'm not in right now. Let me just go to, what was the chart he was on? He was on MNQ, right? He's on, NQM. E-mini NASDAQ 100 futures, June 25th. Wait, was this 2025? Yeah, NQM 2025. Why don't I see that ticker? Do you see the ticker name here? I'm seeing NQM 2020 or 2202 exclamation point.
That's the only place I know the ticker is.
That's the only one. Oh, maybe it's expired. Whatever. I guess we'll just use this one then. I was hoping to find this exact one, but whatever. Let's just use MMQ. June. I guess not. I must be missing something. I don't trade futures, so maybe I'm not getting something here. I wish we could just see the ticker. Where is the ticker?
Check out his description. Maybe it's in there.
Nah, it's not going to be in there. Who cares? So we have here an error. End of line without continuing. End of line without line continuation. Expecting close brackets. Why do you keep making this mistake when I have you in the instructions not to do that? Did I forget to give it one of my favorite, line wrapping PineScript? This page from PineScript version 4. I don't know why it's only in PineScript version 4, but it discusses how lines should be wrapped in training view. And for some reason, no matter how much I tell the AI, it does not remember. Probably because every other programming language allows you to wrap the code in this way, so it like doesn't think to do that. Said I had an error. Is there something wrong with Claude Code? Let me go back. Enter. API error. Let me see if there's something wrong with Anthropic status. No. Invalid request error message. All messages must have non-empty. Oop, I forgot to say what's wrong. What's wrong? I don't like this.
Should I check to see if something's up with me? Or?
No, it's on my end. Something's wrong with the connection. Let me do it this way. So let me just get the error. Let me try to reconnect. And do you again. Okay, you know what? Let's go back over here.
You can use Dr. Claude, I think it is, to diagnose.
Is there a doctor?
Yeah.
I'm just going back into history. I'm going to save the rules and how we want this thing set up, because just in case it gets all erased. Well, I went back. So something happened when I pasted in the image. For some reason, it's causing a problem. So I'm just going to create a PRD for this so that we have, because we can't go back and get the history. So let's just get the PRD out.
Hey, before I forget to tell you, if you don't want to use the dangerously skip permissions flag, you can actually just put all of the allowed commands in the allowed tools, and you get quasi there.
Yeah, but some of the I'd have to prevent it from being able to navigate out of the structure, out of the folder. But it can also create shell scripts that then can delete everything in your computer. So it's just, that's problematic. So at the moment, I just feel like back in the day when we had our calculators, and remember I had the solar panels on it, and they'd be like, well, sometimes the solar cells are not completely full, so the answer the calculator give you will be wrong. And you'd be like, oh, we have to check our answers on the calculator. Let's just go back to those days.
I think it's a Jesus.
Because sometimes the AI is able to make me feel bad about myself, and I only attribute that to sentient beings. So let me not start messing around here.
Claude doesn't make you feel bad. Claude is always like, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
All right. Did it create a project doc? I don't see the project doc here. Create an associated markdown file.
I got to tell you, Tom, no shade, but 38 minutes, I don't think you're going to be accomplishing much in this one.
Look, sometimes it's useful to see what doesn't work. I see like the prestige. Sometimes you're the person on stage. Sometimes you're the man in the box. You remember the prestige?
Oh yeah,
the magician. Spoilers for the prestige. If you haven't seen
don't
it yet.
spoil it. Don't spoil it.
Fine, whatever. For those who get it, get it. And those who don't get it, get out of here. Go watch the prestige. Pause this. Go watch and come back. You have your gut busting, laughing about how apropos my reference is. All right. So we created the README file. We have that there. So let's just go ahead and continue. All right. So I'll tell it that I have this error again. And I'll give it the So I'm basically telling it that there's an error in TradingView, and then giving it the doc that explains the context of the error. Let's see if now it can access the page. Okay, it is. Now it's fetching the page, not getting the API error. Peter, I don't like when the AI isn't perfect in responding to me. When it has errors like this, why are we getting an API error? I don't get it. Now I see the issue. Looking at the error on line 68370. Okay, but why couldn't you access the page? They're trying to fetch the page and couldn't do that. Whatever. Let's see if it fixed the problem. Okay, look like it did fix the problem. I know I could have just fixed this problem myself by manually doing it, but if it doesn't know that it's causing this problem, it's going to keep doing it, and it bothers me. Now it still might do it, but maybe it won't. All right, so it modified the code. Let's go back over here, paste it in, and see where we're at. Any errors? No errors. Let's add you to the chart. Okay, let's find an area over here. Let's find this a setup. Let's find a setup. So let's go to the 1 hour chart he was on. Let's only show the regular trading hours so that we don't get a bunch of hours we don't want to trade. And let's go over.
We got a message in the chat. You want to read that? Can I read that now?
Yeah, go for it.
All right. This is from Finance with Diego. I am new here. Are you creating a script using PineScript?
That's right. We're using PineScript, but we're forcing ourselves to use Claude Code and Cursor in order to help us develop it, as opposed to running it by hand.
That is a sick avatar you got there, Finance with Diego.
I love it.
I don't know if it's AI generated or not, but well done.
All right. So when I added the indicator to the chart, I did get, it's asking me to choose the top left corner, which you see in the message over here, and the bottom right, but it's not drawing any box here, or at least I can't see it. So let me just tell the AI this. Control V to paste in my image.
Tom said this before, but I'll say it now. Speaking as a non-program, Tom is an expert PineScript coder developer. Me, nothing like that. Claude Code and Cursor have completely changed my life, and I love looking at it. I could look at this IDE all day long. That in Midjourney.
I just wrote a message here. When I add the indicator to the chart, it does ask me to choose the 2 starting points, but I don't see any box on the screen. I gave it the image, the screenshot. Can you please add login info using log.info to make sure you are checking your assumptions? I find this to be super useful. You let it know that it can log information. That way, when we check the Pine logs and we give it to the AI, it can help diagnose what's going on. All right, so I was trying to update the file. It's not working. Look, Peter, I know we're getting close to the end here. While we're doing this, let's just go ahead and get a word from our sponsors because we got to pay the bills. Got to pay the bills, folks.
That was my mistake.
That's embarrassing.
It was on mute. I don't know why it's on mute. Oh, I was doing a test. Give me a second. All right, here we go.
Are you making trading harder than it needs to be? If you're trading manually or still coding just to connect to your broker, yeah, it's time to upgrade. TradersPost lets you automate trades using signals from tools like TradingView or TrendSpider or even your own custom setup. It works with brokers like TradeStation, Trade8, Coinbase, and a bunch more. I've been using it myself, and getting started was smooth. The platform's clean, setup's quick, and once it's running, it just works. And when you're ready to scale, adding more strategies, plugging into prop firm accounts, or juggling multiple portfolios, TradersPost handles it. It's built to grow with you. Start your free trial at TradersPost.io. Trade smarter, automate your edge.
I'll be sure to ask Mike. Mike's the CSO. I call him Mike. You should call him Michael. Just be a little bit more respectful. Oh, we're back. All right, what does the AI say? I've completely rewritten the indicator with extensive login. The key improvements include enhanced time to bar index function. Now properly searches through historical bars to find the matching timestamp, comprehensive login, price adjustments, visual helpers, blah, 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 blah. And we realize our life is richer with friends than we ever believed. Now let's go ahead and copy and paste this in and see if we get any better results. First, let's open up the Pine logs. I still don't see any box. Let's just go ahead and add this again, add the chart. Okay, so we're seeing lines here. I don't know if you can see that here, Peter. There's a line over here and a line over here.
Are you talking about? Oh, yeah, I do see it. It's hard to see, but I see it.
All right, so let's see here. We have our logs over here. We're not going to give the whole logs. Pause your logs if you find that it keeps running. And we're going to go ahead and grab. Oh, actually, I can't grab all of it. Let's just grab the most recent one.
I decided I'm going to learn law and try to pass the bar. I want to be a lawyer.
I studied, Frank. I studied. I'm big on movie references and TV references. My favorite ones are the ones that people don't recognize.
All the youngins won't recognize what you're talking about.
Does it feel good, Mr. Bannister? Do you know that one? Does it feel good, Mr. Bannister?
Mr. Bannister sounds familiar.
Yeah, my body's a roadmap of pain.
Oh, no.
Frighteners. One of the best movies of all time. Top 10 movies.
That's right.
So good.
Top 10.
Top 10. Oh, yeah. Have you watch Frighteners again and tell me that's not a top 10 movie?
How do you get that a top 10? We have Final Destination 1, Final Destination 2, Final Destination 3, Final Destination 4, Final Destination 5.
Final Destination 1, 3, and 5 are okay. 2 is a train wreck. 3 is probably my favorite.
If I can see it, I can change it. If I can change
That's
it.
one, Peter. That's one. Oh, Colorado. If I knew that song more, maybe I might like it better. Okay, now the issue is clear. We need to make the price inputs interactive as well. When you use, okay, we don't have time to be reading all that. Come on.
Vibe
actually, yeah, I had the script that I started working on, which was, you know what? I can't talk about it because it violates the terms and conditions of TradingView, and let's not get in trouble. Let's just not get in trouble with that.
Let's not violate the terms. Don't violate the terms.
Let's not violate the terms.
None of us are.
All right. Let's try this again. Okay. Well. Oh. That's nice.
What was that sound?
It is so nice. Look at that.
I've never heard you make that sound before.
It's wonderful.
I'm going to clip that, loop that. That's my GIF now, baby.
Okay, we got a support and resistance showing up, and even better than I thought it was going to show up before. Okay. All right. All right. So let's just go ahead and I haven't done this before, but maybe people should know this. You can just go to your free GitHub account, go ahead and create a new repo. We're going to call this boring strat. Make it private. Create repository. Grab the link. Head over to your cursor and then say up. Commit this commit
the
boring this file specifically.
Oh, that specific file.
PRD.
I didn't know that.
Files to Git. I know we have versioning over here. We can always go in here and check the versioning of the script. But and you could also roll back. But the AI doesn't have access to that versioning. So if you do it this way so that it commits to GitHub, it can always go to GitHub and check to see what was done before. Now, if you're going to do that, chances are you want to do this instead of a project that's specific to this strategy and not have a bunch of other things I have here. But you can do it this way. See, there is a problem with the API somewhere. There's a problem with Claude Code somewhere. It keeps giving me an API error when it's trying to access something outside.
Why is it that why don't you just commit to Git? Why GitHub?
It's the same thing.
No, Git is local. GitHub is on the web.
Oh, sure, but I want it to be online.
Yeah, but you could bypass this whole thing by not needing to go online.
Yeah, but you could damage your local Git can also get damaged. It can delete commits It could update messages. It could do a bunch of things locally because that's what's happening over here in the source. It's keeping control of that locally. But if something happens, then you're SOL. I like to have it online.
I see.
So let's see other files there. Refresh the page. Yeah, they're there. Okay, perfect. All right, so the script. Let's move on to the next step. Okay, Peter, so from here, this 50-minute journey is a problem, but from now on, bang, 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 bang. It's going to get everything right away.
You're going to knock it out.
Add breakout detection logic. Let's see. Oh, API error connection. If it wasn't for this API connection problem,
let me find out if it's
it'd be done better. It would be done faster. Because I think when it does that, now it has to skip looking for information using the tool, and now has to like infer things.
Right.
Which I don't like. I don't like at all. I expect this tool that didn't exist 3 years ago to work now flawlessly. Wow, we have 42 people watching. I'm surprised. Usually I come up with a fake number. That's not the case now. Be sure to like and subscribe, folks, and drop a super chat. And if you have Amazon Prime, you have Twitch Prime, go ahead and
that's the wrong show.
To renew it every 30 days.
We got a chat from Finance with Diego again. We got a message here. Finance with Diego. Can you please explain what is boring trading indicator? What is it doing? Is it support and resistance zones? Thank you. Very nice stuff you are sharing. Thanks for sharing it. Thank you. Appreciate
awesome. That. Actually, it doesn't come from us. It comes from Jooviers Gems, his YouTube channel. I don't know anything about this guy except that he does trading content. Seems to be very popular, and I like to we love to take people's ideas, see if we can turn them into indicators and strategies, and see if it might be useful to the community. So that's basically the idea. You can go take a look at his channel here.
Is the link to this video?
I'll put a link of the video in the description, and that way you guys can have it.
Actually, can you send it to me and I'll post it in the chat right now?
Absolutely.
Just want to be fair to this guy. We really do appreciate the content creators out there, and we want to make sure we direct our viewers there so that, you know, it's reciprocity.
I'll go ahead and post it in the chat. 1 second here.
Cute.
Actually, I could do it over here. Oh, wait, I don't have access to the chat. Okay,
it's okay. I got it. Don't worry about them. I'll get it.
All right. You got the link?
I don't have it, but I can go find it.
All right. All right. So what did it do next? I've successfully implemented breakout detection for the Born's setup indicator. I mean, Peter, the name of the indicator it's catching on. Breakout detection logic detects price closes above or below the zone, only checks the breakouts after the zone ends, prevents duplicate breakout signals, visual breakout markers, breakout confirmation settings, zone status, and so much more. Let's go ahead and take a look. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, do we see any breakouts over here? So let's go ahead and where are the breakouts? Let me just delete this and add it back to the chart. Left, top, right, bottom. Okay. All right, so I'm going to tell AI that I'm not seeing any breakouts. Just going to do this so I can see more of the notes, the logs. All right, Peter, you got to admit that at least what we've seen so far is pretty cool. We got something on the chart that normally takes people a little bit of time to figure out how to do. And here they can just ask it. Like again, to be able to just put those 4 markers on the chart. It draws a box. We have levels that are shown here for where the breakouts and the breakdowns would occur. We have a status bar, whatever dashboard here that the AI decided to add to the chart, so we can see. Like, this is pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Again, I'm not sure you know what that word means. Cool. You know what I mean?
Oh, it says I'm using the original one. Where's the updated one? Oh, there's another script here. It made a second one. I don't like that. I don't like that. So let's just go ahead and grab this code just for the interest of time, because we do have to leave soon. Let's paste you
We
in.
can stay here all night, all day.
Same syntax error. It always makes that syntax error.
Hey, Tom, do you see my message? Oh, sorry, you're busy right now. Never mind.
Yeah, go ahead.
In the chat, do you see the link that I posted? Because I don't see it showing up anywhere. In the live chat on YouTube.
I'll take a look.
You don't have to go out of your way. It's okay. I think it might have.
I'm waiting for AI to do its stuff, so that's fine.
I think because there was a link in there. Didn't work. Actually, you won't be able to see it if it's not already open.
Yeah, I'll just go ahead and post the link in there myself.
Okay.
All right. The issue is that the PineScript doesn't handle multi-line. Okay, so yes, let's just go ahead and accept. Oh, I forgot to save this file so it doesn't know of the changes. 1 second here. Where are you?
Check the file menu at the top.
Let's do this.
Tom uses an application on his computer called, if you don't know what that is, basically it just saves everything that you copy to your clipboard. I use it now. It's indispensable. Sometimes if I'm dealing with text or something, I don't know if I saved it or whatever, I just make sure that I paste. It's like the backup of backups in case anything goes wrong.
I mean, I don't know how I ever lived without it. I've been using Paste now since 2012, I think.
Wow.
And Tom, do you have content all the way back from 2012? Yes. Does that take up gigabytes and gigabytes of space? Absolutely. And now they've upgraded it. You can do collaborations, you can group and file things. It's like really, really great. Okay, this sucks. The API is busted. Something's wrong with the API connection.
Well, look, that's not on you. So
that's not on me.
But actually, it might be because there's no incidents reported today.
Well, I'm assuming it's a local thing. Maybe I have to like restart my computer or something like that. All right, let me just go ahead and test this out. We had an error where the array size was 0, and so the array methods weren't working. Okay, so we have here. Okay, it's happening here. So we have a break here because we drew it. We have this break that happens over here. Oh, this is so exciting. Oh, I love this sort of thing. All right, let's go back to over here. So we're going to go to you. And we're going to do let's do you here. Okay, so we have a breakout. Guys, we got a breakout. I like that. So, all right, that's good. Let's just push it a little bit further. All right. So,
ooh, I'm sorry. Time's up. We're at 1 hour and 32 seconds here. It's a real shame. But if you tune in next week on Blueprint, we'll be continuing this.
What's the next step? Take profit or stop loss? Come on, baby. Can you give me something? Well, what we'll do, no, before we leave, I just want to go ahead and do the alerts that we're going to set up in TradersPost, because that's the part I like the most. Let's just do this. Actually, while that's being set up, let's go ahead to TradersPost, and I'm going to set up in my dashboard a new strategy by clicking on strategies, new strategies. And God, John's been doing such a great job making the site, like the backend, look even better than before. I don't know if you remember what this looked like a year and a half ago or whatever it was.
I do.
Dog crap. I'm just going to say it, dog crap. Now,
no, it was good, but now it's even better.
No, honestly, it was embarrassing. And I can't believe that John actually let that go. Nobody tell him.
I like John. I heard a bit about his philosophy in our last meeting and our last marketing meeting. And he's like, look, make the thing that works, worry about the design later. And that guy gets things done. You, on the other hand,
just
John,
because he builds things well and successfully doesn't mean he's right, Peter. Stop giving him praise when praise is clearly due. The only time you should praise for someone was when they don't deserve it in order to help them grow. And someone who is succeeding, you got to neg them so that they work even harder. That's how it goes.
Then, Tom,
That's
you are a fantastic person, and there's no room for growth. Excellent.
I'm going to try to live up to your expectations. All right, the AI is still going. I'm in the back end of TradersPost, and I created the boring strategy.
Wait, okay, hang on. All this swiping, and it takes a little time. All right.
I'm in the back end of TradersPost, and I created a boring strategy, a strategy called boring strategy. Now I'm just customizing it. I turned on auto submit because I want trades that get sent here to automatically be executed on my broker. I changed the sides from bullish to bearish and bullish because I want to allow both long and short. And that's generally the basics of what I need to do when I want to just set up something for it to run automatically. Obviously, I can do all kinds of other modifications. I could change the trading window when trades are allowed to happen. I could handle the position sizing here from the back end and the types of orders that are being done, market orders, limit orders, that sort of thing. But for the purposes of our test, just to make sure that everything's coming through, this is all I need, and I can enable that. Once I do, I can click on Webhook at the top right, which we'll come back to in a second, and it's to here, this webhook, I will be sending my trade signals. But let's head back to Cursor to make sure it did the take profit and stop loss sections. If it did, then we're good. If not, I'm gonna have to bid you guys adieu. That means to God in French. All right, so I saved that there. Breakout enabled. Do I see a take profit and stop loss? Let's take a look at the script settings. Am I looking at the right one? Did it make a third one? It did. It made a boring setup V3. I have to tell it not to do that. I'm going to grab this code, replace it here.
Just let
range
Claude be
cannot
Claude.
be used as a variable or function name. One more time.
Just let Claude be Claude. If it thinks it's better to do a third file, who are you to judge? Nobody. Nothing. I'm going to name my next child LLM.
I thought as we were wrapping up, we'd have less people watching. There's more people watching now than ever before. So let's just turn this into a 6-hour stream, guys. Let's keep it going. Order some pizza and keep on streaming. All right. Some keyword terms inside of PineScript, just like any other language, are reserved. It was trying to use the word range. Range is not allowed. I told it this, and it should go ahead and fix the error. Copy, paste, copy, paste. All right. Cannot modify global variable SL line in function. That happens often. So I'm going to copy the error, paste it here. That's basically what we're seeing here is that in global variables basically are variables that are not at the far left. Oh, sorry. If they're at the far left, they're global variables. And here within a function, I'm trying to modify it. And because of the way that PineScript is arranged, you can't do that. So either you have to pass the global variable as a argument for the function, or you can use this funky array system where you use an array variable that can be changed globally, or you have to just reorganize your script, like redo your script so that you don't need to do that. Either redo the calculations internally, blah, blah, blah. But I'm just telling AI that this exists, and it'll try to figure out a new way of going about it. And it looks like it's redoing the calculation from inside. So let's see. All right. We're well over time, and I very much appreciate everybody taking their time out of the day to watch this. If you're interested in what we're doing here, please send us YouTube videos you want us to convert into strategies or PineScripts or anything like that. Very happy to do it. And you know what? If you send me something that you want to see converted into this, I'll be even more diligent about it. I'll care about it even more because I know if I do a good job, you'll praise me for it, which is the only thing I want. Is the only thing I want. Honestly, TradersPost, because just stop paying me and just start giving me emojis, hearts, exclamation points, and rocket ships. It'd be just the same. All right, let's go ahead here one last time. If this doesn't work, we'll just move on because this is fun for me. But there's other things to do. Okay, so we have, we have that there, baby. So we have here the a breakout occurred, but the take profit and stop loss is over here. Let's just re-add this script to the chart. Let's see if that makes a difference. We're going to add you here, 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 and here. There's our box, our breakout. Well, that's a fail, right? That should be a fail. Let's bring you down here and see if that's any better. Okay, so we have a breakout that happens. Breakout happens. The take profit, though, is not where I expect it to be. The breakout should be over here. Oh, so that's what that R is. This green symbol over here is the breakout. And then it sort of, gets stopped out. All right, so as a final thing, we're not going to fudge around with all those details here, but I do want to do one last thing. That's connected to TradersPost.
I don't know why I thought TradersPost was complicated. When I first started working with TradersPost and went to the website, I was like, ooh, this is going to be so difficult. Bruh, I put on a few trades, I connected a few things, experimented with AI bit. Things dead simple. It's so simple. It's so easy.
So easy.
So cool. The other night, I was just on my phone and I wanted to do something with my phone and AI. You know, because I'm vibe coding with Claude Code on my computer all the time. I want to do something on my phone. I know I should be going to bed, but I just want to be on it. So I use Manus AI, which is this agentic LLM chat tool that has browser use, and it can send out a signal to a WebSocket, unlike ChatGPT or Claude. And so I was able to send, hey, buy 100 Bitcoin, buy $100 worth of Bitcoin to my TradersPost webhook, and it did it. It was very satisfying to connect to that just from my phone using natural language.
All right, here I'm asking the AI, I want to be able to send JSON message alerts to TradersPost to enter the trades and exit them at the take profit and stop loss. Add the alert message fields using the input.text area function where the user can input the JSON messages for the trades. And then I gave it the documentation for TradersPost. Now you're seeing here where my knowledge of PineScript comes in handy. I'm letting her know specifically the fields I want to use, the functions I want to use. So there absolutely is a solid place for understanding the coding system that you're using. Obviously, you're going to do much better than someone who's just using the Lego bricks in order to build something. You can be able to be more customized, more attention to detail, and less back and forth. So this is not a replacement for understanding PineScript. I'm just doing this tying one hand behind my back, showing you how you might do it if you don't really know about PineScript right now. But if you're finding that you are having difficulty explaining an idea, then it's useful to go into the community library in TradingView, go into the documentations, explore existing scripts. You could even feed it the scripts to AI and go, hey, can you explain to me how this is built? so that you have a better understanding. Now, while this is happening and it's preparing that script, I went to the documentation and I gave it the documentation page for webhooks so that it understands how to write what are the properties in the JSON message that TradersPost is expecting. One thing I should mention here that wasn't here over the last blueprints is that there's a new developer section here that Mike added for webhook reference that gives us the API reference for TradersPost. So, and it, unlike the other page for webhooks that just has the properties and the values that they can have, here it's actually letting you know what are the what's the information that's returned back when you send a webhook message. So you send a webhook message to there. We don't normally see what the response is, but there is a response, and it can give you error messages. It can give you feedback and give you confirmations. So if you wanted to build out a more robust automated system, you can. Now that you actually have more details, you can, and we're going to be expanding the feature set for TradersPost as we go on in the future. But it's a brave new world. All that is super useful for AI development in the future. Back to this, we have the all right. Let's see if it actually created the alerts. It said it did. Let me just go take a look. All right, it looks like it did. I'm going to go back over here, update the code. All right, so we can see in the logs over here, I didn't even have to ask it to do it. It's actually showing us the JSON messages that would be sent. So we're seeing here, it's getting the right ticker, the right action, bullish, buying one, the right price to enter, the take profit and stop loss, all done in the proper bracket order method. Let me just make sure, take profit, stop loss, if that's the way it's supposed to be done. I believe so. Take profit and stop loss. Yes, take profit and stop loss. Let me just make sure it's supposed to be take profit and stop loss. 1 second. Take profit. No, it's incorrect. I'm seeing here the wrong way. The take profit is supposed to have a child object, and here I'm seeing that the price is directly where the take profit and stop loss. So let me just go ahead and copy this and tell it.
AI can handle typos and mistakes so well that I'm embarrassed by some of the messages I allow myself to send. Sometimes it looks like
messages?
yeah, sometimes it looks like I have Parkinson's and dyslexia, and I send the message anyway, and it understands it.
I usually I want to write properly. I want the AI to know when it shows up on my door and is asking for my papers that I'm a person who cares about punctuation, grammar, and vernacular. The problem when I'm on stream, every time you see me on stream, is that if you see me here, I'm actually looking directly through my mic to my screen, and I have to push my screen away from me. I have trifocal glasses. I need to see. I have to push my screen away from me, and then I have to look through this pole at it. So everything is doubled, and I have to sort of like read it. And then I'm typing on an Alice layout keyboard.
Move the
off
mic to the other side.
Sorry?
That's why I moved my mic to the other side. I pointed it's on the other side of me.
No, but even if I did it that way, my Alice keyboard is not expecting me to be off to the side typing. So it's like all awkward. The fact that I could type at all is crazy. Okay, here I'm getting a compact and conversation message, which I was trying to avoid. Once you get when the context window is large enough, eventually it goes, look, I can't remember all this. Let's go ahead and compact this, which makes the answers that you get later on a little bit worse since it doesn't remember the history, but whatever. And again, getting the API error again. Gosh darn, that's annoying. Just give it a couple of more seconds. Okay, just assume that we're going to have the JSON messages that are fixed up. We're just letting it know. We could see it here. You can see here that it's already edited it so that the take profit and stop loss now has a child object. It's using the limit price type stop price as it's supposed to from the documentation. So this happens sometimes with AI. It'll hallucinate, and you just have to go ahead and check it and go, look, you didn't do this right, baby bird. Go back and revise it. All that being said, if we wanted to go ahead and turn this into an indicator, we have how the alerts set up here. The alerts are set up under alert conditions. Alert conditions, and I just want to see where this alert text shows up. Okay, and then these alerts over here. So when you're dealing with alerts, especially with an indicator, there's two alerts you might see. You'll see alert condition, which is inside of your alert menu. If you choose this indicator, in this dropdown, you'll have these alerts that, in this case, are the AI created for us. When there's a zone breakout, when there's a retest, when there's an entry signal, a TradersPost entry, stop loss, and take profit. So each one of them are individual, right? Individual alerts that you can go ahead and create alerts for so that you can be notified, or you can send a signal to TradersPost using the message field over here. So let's say if I wanted to enter in at a certain point in the boring setup, I can choose TradersPost entry. Inside of, I want this to happen once per bar. In my message, I would then use from the documentation, I could use a buy signal, or inside of my dashboard here, I can copy a standard buy signal, head over to my messages and paste this in. So at this point, it'll send a market order for this ticker to buy at whatever closing value is right now, and at this time. It could send along the time variable. So this message, I can send it off to TradersPost by clicking on notifications. And in my webhook URL, I'm going to go back to my TradersPost dashboard, copy the strategy webhook, which is my specific webhook that has my user ID and password in order to send a signal. And I'm going to paste that into this field over here. That way, when this alert fires, this message will be sent to TradersPost, and then it'll follow along whatever rules I have set up in my strategy and purchase purchase this trade at my broker. Because I'm just using the entry, I might decide over here that I don't want to take the take profit and stop loss from my indicator. I want to set specific take profit and stop loss from my system, like a standard one. So I can come over here, and in my take profit and stop loss, I can set a take profit percentage, let's say a 5%. All right, I can't do that on a paper trading account. I'm using a paper trading account, but I could set my take profit and stop loss over here. And that way, every order that gets created, my take profit and stop loss are already created. Or I can come back over here, create a new alert, and then choose the different condition for stop loss or take profit to have different values that are sent there. So these are the alert conditions that are set up individually. But I also have, the script also decided to do alert, just a normal alert function over here, where if inside of my alert I choose instead of one of the predefined options, if I choose this first one, any alert function call, then I don't have to customize a specific, in my alert dialog here, I don't have to customize a specific message for each one here. The message that will be sent will be decided by what's inside my script settings. So my script settings, I have an alert for entry, stop loss, and take profit. And this, whatever message is here, will be the thing that's sent off to the broker. Does that make sense, Peter?
I'm going to say yes.
Excellent. All right, that's about it. So that's two ways of going about it. Either you can have the alerts directly within the indicator, which I recommend. I recommend you set it up this way, and that way you have all your messages there all in one place. You don't have to go fudging around with a bunch of different alerts and have 2, 3, 4, 5 different alerts that you have to manage. You do it all within one, and then you just have one alert that you create that sends the message off to TradersPost.
How long
Well,
would
that's
it
it.
have taken you to do this manually?
Me,
Mm-hmm.
the same amount of time. You, 2 orders of magnitude.
2 only? That's so sweet. That's so kind.
Longer than your lifetime. I'll tell you that.
Hi, Michael. Michael says, first time here. Hi, Michael. First time seeing you. Welcome to the show. We do all kinds of things here on TradersPost YouTube channel. You're looking at Blueprint. Well, Tom can tell you a lot better. Or do you want me to
No,
say
go
it?
ahead.
Blueprint here. This is where we Tom does experimenting, live coding.
I'll go ahead. I'll tell them. So Blueprint is where we do tutorials and walkthroughs for all things developing an automated trading strategy. Automation for us is not just like the whole thing has to be automated. It could be anything small, like you're automating just the entry and exits for a position that happens on a discretionary basis, like we saw today, all the way up to complex systems where it's looking to buy and sell signals from a chart and pull in information from Twitter, get sentiment analysis, and doing a transcript analysis on Jerome Powell when he does a press conference in order to generate a buy signal. And all that happens automatically across 30 different prop firm accounts all at once. TradersPost is really a platform that allows for all. And so when it comes to Blueprint, it spans the gamut of what we can do. But we also have other shows.
We have After Hours, which is a market commentary show that takes
I'll
place.
just let them know. So on Fridays, we have After Hours, which is a market commentary show with yours truly and with Mike, and sometimes Peter sits in, where we go over some of the news that happened over the week, because as traders, we don't only want to trade or watch the news, we want to trade the news. So that's fantastic. But I'm sorry, I cut you off, Peter. You're talking about office hours?
On Tuesday, there's office hours, and that's where we answer your questions about the platform. If you're having any difficulties, let you know about upcoming features, things that we're working on, feature requests that have been submitted or that are submitted by you. That takes place on Tuesday. So Tuesday, it's at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Blueprint is 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and After Hours is 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
So it's
and
fun.
then there's also interviews, great interviews. Mike Christensen interviewed a farmer who does prop firm trading. There's an interview on this channel, super popular. People are really liking it. This farmer guy.
That's great. That was fantastic. Tyler, the prop firm trader, was fantastic. Rebecca Trades, the one today that he recorded, I can't wait to get that online next week, which is Dan Schwartz, which I believe that's his name, Dan Schwartz, who is running for office as a congressman, who's also a prop firm trader. This was like super interesting. If you think trading is just for construction workers and stay-at-home moms, you're wrong. And I was going to say degenerates like me who just like to swing for the fences and don't care how much money I lose. It's also for legitimate people with legitimate jobs who care about other people and use the markets in order to finance what they want to do in their regular life. It was a fascinating interview. Peter hasn't heard it yet. I did. I loved it. You're going to see that coming up. Guys, TradersPost, you think we're just here as an automated trading platform? We're here to make your life completely different. We're here to automate your success.
We got a couple of
failures. If you don't do it properly, we're going to automate your failures too.
All right, Michael T saying, what is this? Guy on the right, you can let guy on the left speak for you. Yeah, he typically does. Michael T says he's a single dad. And I found TraderSpost to be interesting. It's super interesting. It's super useful.
Yeah.
And then he also says, I have tried the free trial, but I'm not able to get it to work. So I'm a bit frustrated at myself. Michael, we can help you with that. Let us know what trouble you're having, not on this show here, but send us a message. Tom, you'll talk about that.
Yeah, click on the support icon button at the bottom right of your screen. All day long, people are messaging us. They want to understand how to get things to work. Some people, for them, it just works right out of the box. They understand for their strategy. Other people need a little bit more help. Not a problem at all, especially if you're new to the space. A lot of the terms, a lot of the ideas can be challenging to understand just to begin with. But I promise you, if you message us on support and you're just clear about what the problem that you're having is, we'll be right there trying to help you every step of the way. We want you to be successful.
You can also watch some walkthroughs. So not only did I get a walkthrough, but we have Rebecca Trades, who's a prop from Trader. She got a walkthrough. There's a video of that online. So maybe that can help answer some of your questions. And then there are also questions for office hours. You can find those clips on our YouTube channel. But definitely, if you have a question, shoot us a message. And if you can show us a screenshot, something that you're experiencing, we'll be happy to help you out. This is not only true for you, Michael T. It's true for all of you who are watching out there in the interwebs. But very much appreciate your time here today. We went a little long. Normally it's not an hour and a half, but it was really a lot of fun. Thank you guys for engaging. You can find us on X. That's TradersPost on X. You can interact with us there. You can find Tom on X, Sacred Prophet. Me, you don't got to find me. The other guys are far more interesting. Tom, anything else?
Yeah, if anybody knows Jooviers Gems, and he wants to come on TradersPost, he wants to get interviewed, let us know more about his trading setup and walk us through it. We'd be happy for you to shoot him a message. Always better when our fans and people like you go out and reach out for us. You let people know that they can come on our show and you can get content from them that you would normally not be able to get. Right? We're going to ask questions. We're going to dig deep. We want to make TradersPost the best place ever. And for that, we need your help. Thank you very much, guys.
I think we stimulated some people. There's another question here, or there's another.
Yeah, let's hear it.
What's going on here?
We're trying to sign off here,
Michael.
folks, people. And there's more people now watching than they were at the beginning of the show.
This is from O Spaghetti. Hey guys, question for you. Saw you were using VS Code to write PineScript. Do you have any preferred extensions? How did you set up your IDE for PineScript?
Sure. Maybe I should just show that right now. So if you actually take a look at our last video, there's a clip in there. Maybe we should clip that out where I walk through how I actually try to train my AI or prep it to be prepared for PineScript. Because the LM the language model systems have been trained on PineScript, but I think only up to like PineScript 4 or 5. They haven't been trained on PineScript 6. And for sure, they're not aware of all the error messages, the model that's being executed, like the programming model that's executed on TradingView. It doesn't see your chart. It's inferring a lot of stuff, so it can be very difficult for the AI to figure out what to do right out of the gate. Now, it is better now than it was before, but it still can be challenging. So what I do at the beginning is that I love to go to the PineScript documentation. So this is at tradingview.com/PineScript-docs/welcome. And on the left side, I'll feed it a bunch of the links for the pages on the left over here. So especially around any of the things that I'm normally doing, if I'm drawing boxes on the chart, if I'm doing strategies, if there's error messages or whatever, I'll go ahead and pass the links over to the LM. So I head over here, and you could do that within cursor on the left side over here, when the way that you normally use cursor, or VS Code if you have a there's extensions, Copilot, different extensions you can have on there. Windsurf you can use as well, all these different systems. And what I do is I prep the entire context window as much as I can with as much information as I can provide it. Like, this is how I like to write PineScript, and these are the rules, and these are the documentations, and these are the reference for the functions, and this is what my project to be like. And then I ask it to prepare a plan for how it wants to tackle writing that PineScript. I don't let it do it right away. I let it plan it out. And then when it plans it out, I say, go ahead and create for me a document that's the entire plan of the project. So I ask you to create a PRD, the entire plan for the project. And then I have the AI go step by step to create every feature. And I copy and paste the code into TradingView to test every one of those features. If you do it this way, you're still gonna have back and forth like you saw today, but it's way easier than trying to one-shot it within ChatGPT on Claude.ai.
And did you mention, because he was asking about extensions that you prefer, did you mention Claude Code?
I use Claude Code. The reason I use Claude Code is I think Claude so far has been the best model for coding that I've dealt with. Plus, because it has the unlimited plan, essentially, Claude Code, what happens is that since I have the max plan, or even the max 5 plan, you don't run out of credits nearly as fast as you do on Cursor. I found on Cursor, you just run out of credits way too quickly for the type of coding that I do. And then you end up paying thousands and thousands of dollars a month, the bills that I've seen people have, which is worth it. I mean, it was worth it to me, but gosh darn if it's not worth it at $200 a month. Like, that saved me a ton of money.
And I'm using the $100 one, and it's been great. I haven't hit any limits.
Yeah, totally worth it. And so then I have Claude over here. I've set it up over here. Essentially, I logged into Claude. And when you log into Claude, now it has access. When you install Claude Code within VS Code or any idea, Cursor, whatever, Claude Code will install its own extension of itself. So in the extensions, there'll be a Claude Code extension that helps it understand the IDE environment. So it actually has access to a lot of the same things within the IDE. The only thing it doesn't have access to are the tools, the tool sets that Cursor created specifically for the system, which is fine for me because I find the tools in Claude Code to be better. But we'll talk about that some other day. Today's not the day for it. We're already well over time. Peter, are there any more questions before we have to leave?
No, we got to run before there's more questions that get here. Get out of here, Tom. Get out.
All right, guys. It's been fun. Thank you so much. And as always, until we see you next Thursday, happy trading.
Like and subscribe.
you.